Hey, thanks for checking out my website. This is just a quick rundown of the Test Your CSS Skills color game. You'll be presented with a box on the right with a color in it and a box on the left with an outline and an input field. What your job is to do is to type in the name of the color that you see over here on the right. So all CSS, not excuse me, CSS, some CSS colors have a CSS color name. Not all colors have a name, but some do, and there's quite an extensive list. So you could try to guess: is that salmon? Nope. Try again. Is that coral? Nope. Try again. Is that light coral? And as you guess, this box on the left is going to change to whatever you do when you hit enter, like that. And I give up on this one. Some of them are really hard to figure out. So, okay, change answer to the mystery color. Boom, light salmon. Oh, okay. And then you can hit this button here and you get a new color to guess. Orchid. Nope, try again. Purple. Nope, try again. Light purple. Doesn't exist. I give up. Dark violet. Okay. So you can kind of play with this. Got one, navy. Yes. So you can just type in different things. You can learn some of the CSS colors like this. Like Dodger blue is a nice blue. Dodger blue. Yeah, Dodger blue. Really nice shade of blue. Um, some weirder colors are right here. When you highlight this, you'll just get a little list of some weird colors, and you can enter any of those into here. Um, so you can stop watching right now if you're not into coding. I'm going to get into a little bit of the code behind some of this stuff on the website. Um, in this video, I'm going to include a little section for this as well. And then I'm going to get into the game. So in the code, this is where we use our CSS variables to make cool things happen. So in my code here, in my JavaScript, I just say R, G, and B. These are just variables equal 255. And then I do a set interval function where I redefine using math floor of math random times 255. I redefine each of the variables every 2 seconds. So every 2 seconds, this set interval function fires off and reassigns R, G, and B. Okay, to anywhere between 1 and 255. And then every 2 seconds, I also say document element style set property. And then this is the property. The first argument is the property, and the second argument is the value. So I'm changing dash left box, and I'm changing it to RGB red, green, blue. And I'm using a template string literal. That's what those backticks are there, instead of quotes. That way you can interpolate using the $ and curly brackets. Just saves you from having to concatenate. Okay, and left box. Okay, and then I say color box display.html, color box display.css, background color.css color, color box.css background color. And all that's doing is basically it's just changing the text and the box to match that color. But here, dash left box, you go into my CSS. Okay, dash left box. Let's see if we can find it. Dash left box starts out as white, and if you'll note that color box ID has a background of dash dash left box with the var function called first. So that's how you set the background. I'm setting the background color to dash dash left box, but since it's a CSS variable property, or CSS custom property, it's basically a CSS variable. The names are kind of interchangeable. And then you go into the HTML. Okay, this box, this div, has an ID of left box. So we go into our developer tools. Click on the box. You'll note right here it's trying to catch up with it, but since I'm running the video, it's a little bit sluggish. But it's just firing that function and changing the color of the box and the text every 2 seconds. As for the color game, we'll go back into the JavaScript here. Let's see, the color game. So here we go. I set up a variable here. Column 2 is the text input. I put an event listener on the text input for change. And when it changes, basically when you hit enter, we're going to assign a variable called new color to whatever that text, the value of that text that you put into that box. So when you type in blue, blue becomes this variable new color. And then I use document.document.element.style.set property, and I have a CSS variable for the column 2 box color, and we set it equal to whatever you typed. So that works the same way as the first thing I showed you. And then I have another, this is a --bs, this is the border for the box, and this just gets rid of the border after your first guess. So I initially define a border of that dashed black border, and then we just bag it after the first response. And then we get our random color, and that's going to equal root -- random color. And then if the guess, okay, if your color equals whatever the random color is, I'm fetching what the random color is from our random function down here. And if the guesses line up, you get the while correct, and else you get nope, try again. So the random color comes from an array. I defined an array with a list of all different CSS colors, not all of them, but a bunch of ones that I found. And I use a math floor with a math random of the length to generate a new random color every time you click that button. And it's done through, again, document.element.style.set property, where I have a CSS custom property, aka a CSS variable, assigned to a random color at a random index, random color, random index generated by the function here, math floor, math random. Okay. Here's a definition of my jQuery UI button. Generates a random color index. So on click, we generate a new random index and assign it. This is the button that changes the color box on the right. That's a jQuery UI thing to get your button. And this just reassigns your color to your box. So if you want a more detailed, longer explanation on the color game, feel free to email me or get a hold of me on one of these things. That might not have been the best explanation, but I was limited in time, so I tried my best. and at least you'll have a little head start on something. Okay, thanks.